I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call please.
Mayor Sheets,
Present.
Greg Miller,
Present.
Megan Sheets,
Present. We have the minutes from the June 27th, 2022 regular meeting. Oh, you have it. Okay.
I'll make the motion that we approve the Board of Works minutes for June 27th, 2022.
I'll second that motion. Roll call please.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Abstain.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, next we have the claims that we have ready for us this week.
Sorry for that. I'll make the motion that we approve the claims as submitted this evening.
Could you revise that motion, Megan, to exclude the envoy claims? We'll do those separately, show them in the minutes.
Okay.
Because those will be contingent upon approval by the building corp.
Okay.
RDA.
Thank you. Let's amend my motion to exclude the envoy claims. We will put those contingent upon the meetings that we have subsequent to approve those by the committees.
A second.
Roll call please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye.
Okay, so we'll do those later then. Okay, is there any public comments? Okay, nothing. We'll start out with the police department.
Good evening.
Chief.
I'll be brief tonight. Just want to report on a couple things going on with department. One, reminder that July 21st at 3 p.m. is the retirement celebration for Jim Skinner at Prairie Creek Park. On also, you know, I know we haven't really released this name, but the author that we are intending to hire has passed all of her, so I'd like to probably bring that on the 25th, just to hire that week, because he's starting potentially on the 8th, and so his swearing in is on the 8th. He's supposed to work the 8th, so I don't know how we do that. The board should probably
So
approve
you want
this.
to bring for approval on that?
Just his name, and I can send the information out to the board in the next 2 weeks to review and at least approve him so he can start
Okay,
the morning of the 8th, but then actually sworn in at the Board of Works meeting on the 8th. He's passed all of the requirements to be installed into the retirement system.
okay.
So far, the Taylor Street change to two-way has been good. We've had our sign down there and the street department with the changes on the roadway, getting rid of the arrows has worked well. So we're going to probably here soon take the sign and get ready for the Hot Dog Festival, which something we met with Joe Palmer and Kim Stevens this morning with Brady Sorrells and I looking at not just traffic control, but active shooter mitigation strategies and the like. That's what we've been working on this morning to ensure the festival is safe, especially during the concerts on Friday and Saturday night. We've increased the amount of officers this year that will be there for overtime, and also having officers that are SWAT trained officers that are available as well. So we're working on that with the Franklin Main Street. Also, in terms of crime, I just wanted to report that crime is the same as last year, which is good, as long as it's not going up. Our calls for service are a little bit down, as is citations, arrests, and warnings. So we're, as long as people are not reporting things, that's what we're hearing from people. So hopefully crime is kind of staying where it's at. We'll continue to work on that through the year. But the first 6 months of the year line up pretty much with the first 6 months of last year. Code enforcement has had 621 incidents this year between the two, 247 citations and 395 warnings. So, and their activity is on pace with last year. That's training. Jim Skinner, this is his last week. We're having dinner at the department on Tuesday and Wednesday night for the officers for Jim, but he provided me with our training hours so far in the first half of the year, 1,336 training hours that the officers have performed, whether in service or off-site. Other than that, Williams Road, we got 11 complaints for speeding. Carrie and I went down there to try to fix the sign, work with Jason, needs a new part, so that part has been ordered. Carrie's going to install it when it arrives. And I guess other than that, I think we're still working on the stop signs at Crescent. I did not get down there today to see if those were up, but I will check. And then we had a lot of questions about Doyle and opening that two-way. It's the board's pleasure. We would prefer to do the same thing if we are going to do it, to have some time to update the road. Mike Gilman's is obviously about 50 to 60% of the parking lot enters and exits onto Doyle. I personally don't see any difference in that in backing out of the courthouse square to a highway. It's busier. Jackson Street's busier. It's just you're backing out into traffic versus at Gilman, you'd be pulling out and you should be able to see. So I don't, Jason's not here. I don't think he's going to be here tonight. So I think we want to kick that can for 2 weeks to get his official opinion on it, but that would be mine. Police department.
And Gilman's had requested that a while back, is that correct?
I believe probably over a year now, when the construction started.
Because they asked them, right, if we could do that two-way, we talked about it.
Yeah, I certainly am not opposed to it. I just want to make sure that the proper studies are done for the ingress and egress safely. And if any conversation had taken place with Gilman for the adaptation, if we needed to put up some barriers.
Yeah, I'd have to defer to Jason on that. So I think we should be prepared in the next meeting on the 25th to up or down on that. As long as he's here, has had opportunity to talk to them. That's okay with you.
Because I'm not sure if he had an opportunity to talk to anyone before. So,
Other than that, there are no questions.
thank you. You stand from the fire department?
Good evening, everybody. I have just a few things to kind of go over with you. Nothing huge issues. One good news is 256 roof got started today, so they're working on it. I think they finally got the building permit today. That apparently somebody forgot to get. So construction's going well. They got all the stone off of it today. They're going to start the rubber roof part of it tomorrow. Also, let you kind of keep up to date. We're still working on quotes for the electrical upgrades at Station 2 and the generators. So Josh is currently working on those, trying to get those quotes back. And some other good news for us is that workout equipment that we talked about, it has been completed and fixed. So it is all up to date and ready to go. Last couple things I really have is we're going to start working on some of the SOPs as far as a few of the rules and regulations, making sure we update the driving policies. I have it Les and I had talked about before. So it's something we're going to start working on a little bit and start getting those updated and hopefully get those done sooner than later. And really the last thing I have is I know I need to get with Les over the next week or so to kind of start looking over our contracts for our townships. Those are going to be coming up and they're their budgets, so I need to get the Les to do that. So I hate to give it to you in the meeting, but thought better time than any to let you know we have to get together. So that's really all we have going on right now. Fire. Everything else has been going well. Vehicles are all running well. So very positive so far.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Nobody's here for the street department. Do we want to go ahead though and approve these removal of fixed assets that he's going to put in?
Yeah, I think so. He had Christina deliver those to us today and they have, they're ready as far as they're concerned. Unless anybody has any questions that they would need to wait for him. I think he's ready to, trying to get prepared for the auction this Saturday.
And do the rest of the departments have anything in the auction?
Yeah.
Did you have any? No.
No. I forgot mine as well.
Me
Okay.
too.
It's, what do you want to do? You just,
Well, I think as long as you just get them into us at the next meeting, what you sold. We do need to have ways, to get rid of the fixed assets that you sell at the auction, because the auction is Saturday.
I mean, I don't know what the police department's done, but the parks department, we have collected all our tags and it's ready to go. We just forgot.
Okay,
We've already taken our stuff out there,
Yes, Dick.
so we can, maybe I can give some descriptions of it for the record, but,
probably need to have like the tag numbers and stuff. Normally, that's what we would do. If you have tag numbers, if you only have descriptions, like some of these have tag numbers, some of them don't. I just know it has to be a matter of the minutes what we get rid of in an auction.
yeah, a lot of ours are abandoned property, so it won't be
It
taxed.
won't be tags.
Descriptions will work.
Yeah, okay.
So do you want to go ahead and approve the street departments for now, or, okay?
I'll make a motion that we approve the release of fixed assets as presented by the street department.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Okay, we got that taken care of. Building services, Don Stock.
I too have a very short report. Basically, we're going to talk about the June permits that were issued. 96 of them were issued for a total revenue collected of $13,674.19. The same time last year was $13,230 and some change, and then in 2020 it was $5,280. The permits that went out that were the majority were the sidewalks, the 50/50 sidewalk program, and that money is now completely is gone. We have a little over $200 left in the amount of money that the council gave us. So all the sidewalks have been placed in for this year. We've had some 30-day electricals, so we've been turning on electricity for some of the homes that have not had electricity on for the last 30 days. And then some minor renovations that have gone up last month also. Just more for your information, there's a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting this Wednesday. A couple items are up, could be up. One being Gracie Balderas' soccer field out off of Walsh Avenue. It's tabled as of right now, so it could potentially be coming off of the table, or it could stay on depending on what the board wants to do. But it's now ready for an up or down vote on whether or not that gets placed in. Also on the BZA is I guess you could say an addition onto a garage on Freeman Street that's coming before. It has to do with side setbacks aren't quite to the line, so we're going to meet about those items on Wednesday. Working with Les a little bit, we have some properties that have kind of come under fire as far as cleaning them up a little bit, not as in property management, but as just how they run their business. And so we're looking into 3 businesses that could be getting a call on sometime this week or next. And we're also still trying to work very, very hard at getting a house and a garage down, a house at 303 South Harrison Street. We're working very hard trying to get that house down. And then there's a garage on the corner of Williams Street and Clinton Street that we think that we're gonna be able to get down. We've had a discussion with Les on that, as it could be in a contract type process, and then, a lien put on the property.
Is that the one, excuse me, on, William?
It is.
Yeah, I want to meet with you again on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to talk to you a little bit about, if maybe we could do the same thing at 303, but the challenge that I'm having is I'm to the stop point. I'm ready for something to be done with the buildings. And, on South Harrison, it seems to get continued on, but, we're gonna try to get it finalized on that this week if we can. And if it's the same process where they don't have the funding, they should, because I think they've had their insurance check given back to them, so.
You know, we want to look at that one a little more. And for example, if there's a mortgage on that property, and you may never be able to collect on your lien. Because your lien's gonna be behind the mortgage, or the mortgage and the second mortgage and that type of thing. So
Okay,
even without a record search, we're really not sure how recoverable anything would be, so.
okay. Well, we'll talk about that, but it needs to come down. It's pretty bad. But that's all I have.
What about Culver's and then
thank you.
the 39 restaurant? Do you have any report?
Very good. Culver's has made it to the finish line finally. We had a lot of MS4 issues that we had to get resolved with water going into the holding facility in the backside, and then it's actually owned by another private entity. But we finished getting all that put together last week, and all they have to do now is send in their MS4 report. They should be applying for their demolition permit. I don't think the property's been purchased yet, but I think they were waiting on the fact of getting everything finalized to be able to purchase the property. So the demo probably will start, I would think, over the next 30 days. You're gonna start seeing some action out there as far as the building getting ready to be raised, and then Culver's coming in. So that's set to go. On 39, the challenge that they have had is, this is where the old Hoops restaurant was, is one of their major remodeling person got very sick and has been out of action for a while. We were actually in the building about 2 weeks ago. They're getting real close to being able to open, but they're just not quite ready there yet. But I would probably say over the next couple months, they should be ready to roll too. So they're real close. Also, one more thing while we're rolling through items. I know that you received a lot of phone calls about the Rural King parking lot. Last week it got milled in the areas that they'll be putting asphalt down, and this is the week that they're supposed to be putting the asphalt. I went out today, there's none being put in today, but they just said the week of June the 11th. So we're gonna keep close tabs on it. If by Friday we don't see any action, then we'll call. We now have a phone number.
And if they said anything about that fire hydrant that's kind of behind Regions, doesn't work.
Yeah,
Probably
nobody has said
damaged. Well, we've had communication with their attorneys in Illinois, and they're supposed to be addressing that.
Okay. Is that
Supposed to
something?
be
Have you
next
heard
sometime.
anything more, man?
Is that something that Kevin?
Kevin and Catherine's been working on it. I know he's talked to the lady, their attorney, and they keep telling him that they're still planning on getting that put in this July, sometime this July.
But one of the issues is, when they do that, they're gonna have to close all the businesses there for a certain number of hours.
From the water.
So they have to coordinate all that.
Hopefully they'll do that. Kevin and Daniel works very well together, so I'm sure they'll get that all taken care of. That's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Gardner, Department?
Good evening. There is something later on in the agenda. It's the We Care Recovery Home thing that Kim it's on her agenda, but actually it's for us, so
Oh,
I can
okay.
go ahead and present that now, if you guys don't mind. Thank you, Greg, for providing me with a copy. So this is September 24th of this year, and it's their annual concert fundraiser. It is at Prairie Creek Park, and they are going to be using all of the other services of Prairie Creek Park as well. So they will have the things going on basically at all the different areas. So what they're asking for is, since it is for the community, that we waive the fee to rent the park.
And you're nonprofit as well.
That's correct.
I'm just curious, is this their first, they say annual concert fundraiser, have they done it before, is this their first one?
Last year.
They've done it before. They used to do it at Veterans Park before Prairie Creek Park.
I think they did Prairie Creek last
Correct.
year, I mean, I
Yes.
went last year, so, yeah. It's a really good event, I think it's good for our community.
A great organization as well.
Yes.
I'll make the motion that we approve the We Care Recovery Home event planned for September 24th of this year.
For a second motion.
Roll call please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you.
last, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. Some quick park updates. So an awesome update is we have our first payment from into the George Dorner Family Fund. And so I'm meeting with Crawford Family Fence tomorrow and finalize our quote before they place the order, because the quote they gave me is still good. They've guaranteed the price, but we are adding to it a little bit. After I met with Nancy Elsie, she had some really good ideas that we have to implement. One of them being a key fob system to access the park. And once I did research, a lot of parks are doing that. So my suggestion would be they come to the park, purchase like a $5 deposit or something, that'll be a later conversation, but, and then they get that key fob, they register their animal with the city, and then they can key fob into the park facility. Another thing that she had was, once you enter the dog park, there should be a second doorway. So then you have two doors. That eliminates pets from escaping. It cuts down on them escaping drastically. And so I'm gonna meet with the Crawfords tomorrow morning and just amend that contract. We're actually gonna use the same amount of fencing, it's just gonna be changing the plan. Because the dog park is 300 feet long, so, it's huge. We can just eliminate a few feet off the end and then build another, in line with that first gate, basically just another fence on the inside. We did also change the sizes of the two enclosures quite a bit as well. Once we got out there and we walked around, we knew that the little dogs had probably too much room. She thought it would be difficult to catch them. And so we changed the plan, even where our benches are going to be, where we're gonna lay out the path. So then whoever's there can kind of direct the little dogs to one section of the area and then catch them. So she had great ideas. She really knows her stuff. So yeah. We are gonna be moving forward with all that. We're digging the water line tomorrow. So we've rented the trencher. We had the trencher done today, but when we got out there, we found out that the utilities, they updated my ticket and said it was done, but there was no lines, there was nothing at all. So I re-verified with 811, and then they sent me an email. So I have an email from all the utilities plus AT&T that says we have the all clear. I just didn't want to take a chance of those people along the Dorner Park losing their internet today. I already had the city come out. We knew there was none of that, but so tomorrow we'll be dropping our water lines in and moving forward with the dog park. So that's really, really exciting.
Yes, it is.
The only other thing I was going to say is we did have a little bit of an issue. I don't think it'll be a big deal for Envoy, but their contractors, RL Turner, damaged the softball diamonds electrical box. And so I went over there today and we got some pictures, and I've already sent them to Jonathan White. So I'm sure Envoy will take care of that. But their guys, basically the city noticed that it was out, and then they came and went into the project and they found out and they came and got us. So, but it shouldn't be a big deal. I imagine Envoy will take care of that. Their guy's broken. So, but that's all I have. Other than that, the parks are going really well. We've got all the zookeepers there and the aviary and zoo staying consistently open, so.
That's good. Okay.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Can we revisit the motion that was made for the event at the park? Megan, did you include the fee waiver in your language for that?
I did not. I'd be happy to amend the motion that I have to include that there'll be a fee waiver due to it being a nonprofit as well as available to the community.
I'll second that motion.
Roll call please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Okay. You got that approved with the TV exemption.
Well, I actually have to give Miss Randall credit for that.
Thank you.
She's so
Thank you.
good, isn't she? She keeps track of us. Okay, community development, Kimberly.
Hello. So, Leslie and I worked on updating the contract for, one of the entertainment bands for the Hispanic Festival. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention and make sure that, there's anything else that needs changed. Otherwise, if approved, the mayor would sign it. Pretty much saying the deposit will be due when we sign the contract and send it out, and then the additional 500 would be paid day of.
We did, last meeting, approve the contract pending the review of the changes. So Les, I will defer to you on if we need another motion.
No, it wouldn't hurt to just have another motion on the revised contract.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Hispanic Festival Entertainment Contract as presented.
I'll second. Roll call please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Okay.
Thank you. And the only other thing I have is this Thursday is the downtown tonight, so we're excited. We've had quite a few artists that have come forward after we did our first one in June, and they're excited to either display their artwork or sell their artwork. It could be anything from jewelry, pottery, paintings, that type of thing. So I just encourage y'all to come down on Thursday.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Les.
Okay, we have resolution 22-11. This is a resolution directing the sale of real estate. It's actually two vacant lots. They're small lots at 1110 North John Street. We did this once before, earlier this year. Didn't get any bids. At that time, we went under Indiana Code 36-111-5. Open it up to anybody or bidders, no one bid. So 36-111-4, we're going to use that one this time. And you notify any abutting landowners. Well, there's only one that actually abuts, which we will notify, but you still have to publish twice in the paper. The nice thing about this other section of the statute is if you don't get any bids or you don't get the appraised value, you can negotiate. So there is interest that has subsequently been expressed by an individual. So if the board wants to approve this motion, then there's a notice to bidders, or an invitation for bids that will be published twice. It'll be mailed to that abutting landowner. And I think he is not the one that expressed interest, but we'll still do it to comply with the statute. And then August 8th, any bids will be addressed and we'll go from there.
So do we need to make that two separate motions, or can we do
No,
this one?
no, if you approve the resolution, it approves the notice, and the publication dates are on the notice there, Carol. I think it's next Saturday in the following
Or
week.
16th or 23rd, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll make the motion we approve resolution number 22-11.
Second motion.
Roll call please.
Mayor Sheets.
Aye.
Greg Miller.
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Okay, resolution number 22-11 passes.
Okay, we have, I think, 4 bids, it looks like, for the 2022 Community Crossings Road paving. The first one is from Grady Brothers, Inc., out of Indianapolis. These are fairly lengthy because there are, let's see, there are 9 different projects. So I'm just going to give the total. I assume the board will want to take these under advisement since Jason isn't here. The one from Grady, the total is $980,442. And it's accompanied with their bid bond in their Form 96 for the State Board of Accounts and their standard questionnaire and financial statement. That's Grady Brothers, Inc. Next one is for Milestone. And it looks like the total for Milestone is Milestone Contractors LP out of Lafayette, $886,530. They've got their Form 96, their scope of work specs, and their bid bond, in their financial statement. It's Milestone Contractors. The third one is from E&B Paving, Echo and Bravo Paving, Inc. Their total bid submitted appears to be $780,364.97 for 9 projects. The bid bond is enclosed, the Form 96 is enclosed, the Iranian government affidavit, written consent to resolution of the sole shareholder and director of E&B Paving LLC. There's a certificate of qualification from the Indiana Department of Transportation. It's E&B Paving Inc. out of Kokomo, Indiana. And the fourth one is from Reith Riley Construction Company, Inc. out of Lafayette. Their total bid for the 9 projects is $948,977.72. Bid bond from Travelers Casualty is enclosed. Form 96 is enclosed in their financial statement. That's Reith Riley Construction Company. So those are the 4.
I think we need to take this under consideration. That's quite a bit more than what we had set aside. I don't know how that works exactly with the crossings. I'll have to talk to Jason. I think the total amount we have is a little over $600,000. So 664. So I don't know how that works. Whether, you know, we can use it on as many projects as we can, or whether he has to show it street by street, so. Probably should. Table those.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we take the community crossing bids as presented tonight under advisement.
I'll second.
Roll call please, Carol.
Mayor Sheets,
Aye.
Greg Miller,
Aye.
Megan Sheets.
Aye. Okay, and we'll just get with Jason when he gets back and see which direction we wanna go with that.
The only other thing I have, Mayor, there should be 2 envoy claims. I thought we might take a look at those. That would be for the police station project and the aquatic center. And these would have to be approved also by, in the case of the police station, the building corporation, and on the aquatic center, the redevelopment authority.
I can run up and get copies of those, but I'm not sure if they were placed in with the rest of the claims.
Did you notice them as you?
I did not.
Maybe they haven't been submitted yet, but I know Wanda said they were in.
Well, we have them,
You do have,
but I don't know that she prepared them to be seen at this meeting.
Thinking you do it for the committees, you know, on Thursday.
well, we've got a meeting in 2 weeks. What's the date on this meeting? I'll be back for that.
When's the next meeting?
You want to-
The 25th, July 25th.
Yeah, I'll be back the 23rd.
I think as long as we let them know, we need it. When we wait, because I think they were concerned, weren't they?
Mhm.
But when did we get them? We just got them in.
We got them last week.
I think it's just a matter, we just have to get the process down on how we were gonna do it and instead of doing it live.
Well, typically, we would have the building corporation and the RDA look at them first and approve them, and then they'd come to the Board of Works. The only reason I was trying to speed it up is I won't be here. You said they were kind of anxious to get these first claims, so I don't know how you want to do
You
it.
won't be here on the 20th.
I will be here.
You will be, okay.
And you'd be here for Thursday evening.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
We just do it the same process.
Okay,
I think so, and surely they would
now
understand.
the other thing you could do is, I don't know if it's that urgent, have a special meeting while I'm gone, at least you can come over.
Whatever your pleasure is, Mayor, we can do that, but this Thursday, I think, are the 2 committee meetings, board meetings.
No, I think as long as we let them, we know, right, our
So,
process.
you know, it's not a matter of just.
Yeah,
writing
We're
checks.
still waiting on things from them too.
Yeah,
Carol and I
once that's
know.
all approved, then it gets sent to
Huntington
Yeah.
is the trustee.
and then they have to write those checks, so.
Okay, that's all I have. Mayor.
Thank you, that's for the advice.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're gonna, when those will be reviewed at the 2 meetings on Thursday, and then we'll plan to have them at the 7:25 Board of Works.
Yeah. Okay, does anybody have anything else? No, bring up meeting. Okay. I'll take the motion.
Move you to-
Okay, thank you everyone for showing up. Matt and Scott, I'd like to see you guys a few minutes.
So when I get on, I would expect you to.